Lorsque l'accord de libre-échange nord-américain a été conclu, l'économie digitale numérique n'existe pas. L'Internet en était à ses premiers, même pas ses premiers balbutiements. Alors, il faut certainement la mettre à jour, cet accord-là, le mettre à jour, cet accord-là. Puis il y a d'autres éléments, comme je l'ai mentionné, la libre circulation la plus fluide possible des personnes et du matériel aux frontières, et également toute la question de l'accès au marché public sur laquelle on a, nous, des conversations importantes à avoir. Donc, il y aura de part et d'autre des demandes, mais je crois que le seul fait de le mettre à jour et tenir compte de l'économie du 21e siècle, de l'économie numérique en soi, c'est déjà une raison suffisante d'avoir ces conversations.
It's a very good question. Some of the things I take heart in, I think people get nervous that NAFTA is going to go away and be blown up and move on. I feel very confident that is not going to be the case. Two reasons. Number one, you have a president in President Trump who already has and has built a great relationship with many of the elected officials here in Canada. In terms of incorporating the technology piece, as the Premier said, you know, we've come so far from that first agreement. The whole world has changed 10 times over, where technology, whether you're talking about software or hardware developments, has really redefined the game, everything in terms of how we do business and communication. So my guess is NAFTA will be amended. It'll be tightened up, so to say. Well, I think what we have to make sure is that we're not creating indirect negative consequences between our relationships between the United States and Canada, given some of, I think, the President's priorities, and specifically speaking, south of the border. We have a very different relationship with Mexico than we do with Canada. Not negative, necessarily, but it's a very different relationship, whether you're talking about the immigration issue that's coming across, the businesses that have migrated down to Mexico, the opportunities that still exist there. So again, I don't think NAFTA gets broken up. I think it just gets refined a little bit to modernize itself to deal with the technologies and issues that we're dealing with today. And again, hopefully takes into account and doesn't create indirect and unnecessary consequences as we go forward. But again, I'm very encouraged by the administration. They're listeners. President Trump's, one of his great strengths is bringing in good people. And sometimes they're not, you know, they have messaging issues themselves. Sometimes the best engineers in the world are really good at looking down at their shoes, but they can design anything in the world. Marketing, you know, and PR aren't everybody's strong suit, but he is building a team, especially within his cabinet. Wilbur Ross is the Secretary of Commerce. Some of the folks he's brought in, Rex Tillerson in the Department of State. These are folks that deal with international issues all the time. They really understand the pushes and pulls. So again, he didn't fill his cabinet with a bunch of political friends. He simply is filling his cabinet with the best and brightest that America has to offer. And I think that gives me, and I hope you, a lot of encouragement and confidence that as we go forward and update NAFTA, they'll make sure that they're accounting for all of those potential indirect negative consequences.